Wow. Parenting is not for everyone. Look on the screen. You see this man here? Here is a 12-year-old daughter. It says an Indiana man is facing substantial prison time after being found legally culpable for his 12-year-old daughter's death. What happened? What happened? His 12-year-old daughter, it says he did not follow through. Father refused to help 12-year-old daughter treat her diabetes. Then she died in her own bedroom. Refused to help her, a 12-year-old child that did not ask to be here. And she died. And look at him. Oh my God. To me, he looks horrible. He looks mean. Oh my goodness. He could have, to me, like he could have played on The Hills Have Eyes. 12-year-old daughter. Look at him. Woo. So, inset left to right is Brent Brethold and Alice Brethold, the daughter. And this is where she died from diabetes. Again, an Indiana man is facing substantial prison time after being found legally culpable for his 12-year-old daughter's death. This week, Brent Brethold, age 39, was convicted by a jury of his peers in Vanderburgh County on one count of neglect of a dependent causing death. He now faces a maximum sentence of 40 years behind bars. The conviction stems from the death of the defendant's daughter, Alice Brethold, age 12, who passed away well before her time due to wholly preventable complications from poorly managed diabetes. This is a heartbreaking case where a 12-year-old girl with type 1 diabetes was left to fend for herself until her untimely death, says Vanderburgh County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Winston Lynn. Quote, her parents should have been her strongest advocates to keep her healthy and alive. But unfortunately, all they had to offer was apathy, indifference, and neglect. On July 4th of 2024, Alice was found dead on her bedroom floor at the family's residence on South New York Avenue in Evansville, according to affidavits obtained by Evansville-based NBC affiliate WFIE. An ensuing investigation determined the girl had diabetes, but that her parents were not helping her manage the lifelong disease. Before Alice died, the Hoosier State Department of Child Services contacted Alice's parents because her blood sugar levels frequently tested in an exceedingly high rate while she was at school. So, you know what it sounds like to me? What sometimes people don't want to face? The mother nor the father did not want that. The parents didn't want, makes me think they didn't want that child. Makes me think they didn't want their child. If they did, this wouldn't have happened. And to think the father refused to help. This could have been prevented. So yeah, it's like he murdered her based on the story. Found dead on the bedroom floor. Blood sugar levels frequently tested in an exceedingly high range while she was at school. Some people don't want to be parents. Sometimes it's just some woman with some man. They got the drinking and got licked. She got pregnant and that's it. Single or married. It just happened. To me, this is like child abuse that led to death. And there are all kind of forms. Neglect is also a form. You can have a kid looking healthy and smiling. What's happening behind closed doors? Why not just give the kid to a relative? You know what I mean? Give it to a relative or a family member. but refused to help her with her diabetes. Left to her own devices. Save yourself, honey, because mom and dad is not coming. So I'm assuming when this happened that the mother was not around because it sounds like only the dad was. And she was found dead on the bedroom floor. So much for the love of lack thereof in that home. Talk about family. Family is a group of people, but what goes on behind closed doors? 12 years old. Let me know what you all think. Again, he looks like he looks like where he belong in prison. He looks like the hills have eyes character. He could play on that movie. Matter of fact, he could have been in The Shining. He got the look more than the guy that played the part. The Shining. It should have been him. Look at him. Evilness. 12-year-old child. This is not what love looks like. This is what happens when I think people have children and they resent it. They might resent the responsibility of having a child. And I hope they were, it didn't say it, but I hope they weren't getting a check off the child. But diabetes, 12-year-old child found dead on the bedroom floor. It makes no sense. But it does, I guess if you hate the child, you don't want the child. You don't care what happens. And they're so stupid. How do you think you were going to be able to like explain that away that your child is deceased? This lets me know. It makes me think they didn't want this little girl, that they didn't want her, or this wouldn't have happened. Let me know your opinions. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Be alert, be aware. Even in the form of parents, there's a lot of evilness out there, and I'm out.